Alright, hey up everybody, how are we all doing? Been a bit of a while since we've had any kind of update on anything. So I thought we'd best get one done. Now I'm starting up here on the old common barn totem, just keeping the layout out of view for a second. A lot's gone on, obviously, since the departure of common barn, and you've seen nothing since. And I've been beavering away, and it's just all of a sudden dawned on me tonight that I'm like, whoa, Matthew, just chill out. You're cracking on here and nobody's seen anything. What's been going on? So I've stopped myself and thought we'd get a very first update done on the new common barn. It's a lot bigger than the old one, put it that way, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So without further ado, we'll spin back and we'll come down, and I'll just have to move way back, a lot further back than I used to have to do. Right, there we have it. Ta-da! A board and track. Yeah, so where to start? Right, first things first, the baseboard. Now the old common barn, that was a 6 foot by, it were roughly 2.5 foot wide. You know, it just fit a first radius loop on it when I originally set up. I put the extension plank on the front and pulled it out to going on towards 3 foot. And this one, we've still got the 6 foot length, but we're up to a good 4 foot wide now. Now, in my impatience, one weekend, in fact the weekend after common barn left, I was out wood hunting, and all the local builders and timber yards were closed, so it was down to the you know, the home bases, the B&Qs, and you can't get one solid sheet. So this in fact was two 8 foot by 2 foot boards. Whipped them down to 6 foot, and we're now obviously 4 foot once they're together. A lot different to the old common barn. There's a massive bracing underneath this one. The old common barn, even the extension plank I put on the front was rubbish. It started to come away ever so slightly on the join. The old back seam, if you remember, long-term subscribers, I had an issue where the baseboard sunk and the baseboard came away from the back seam, and I had a nice big gap, which I sorted all that out at the time, but you know, I've not made the same mistakes again. In fact, the construction that's gone into this, I was impressing myself no end. The more I was doing, the more I was so pleased with how I was doing it. Like I said, there's a massive bracing under there, there's some legs at the back, and the construction isn't finished yet. But I'll mention that bit in a second. So that's the size of the board. Now, track plan. I have gone for a double loop purely just to increase my running abilities. The old common barn used to be fiddle yard to a terminus, and that's why I switched it up to incorporate a loop, purely because I just wanted to see my trains running. So on this one I've gone for 2. I've never had double loop before. And the enjoyment and fun I get out of watching it is just ridiculous. I'm being a bit of a hypocrite, if I'm honest. I've never really liked looped layouts, you know, tail chasers, purely because that's just not what happens in real life. You know, you don't go in a loop if you're going from Edinburgh to Leeds, you know, you go in a line more or less. But you know, time's gone on and I prefer running the models I build and things like that, so we've gone for a double loop. This time we've got a third and second radius in here compared to first radius on the last one, so running ability has increased massively. It is just a real nice setup. Like I say, I'm very happy with how it's gone. Now, second and third radius, 4 foot board. As you can see, I ain't got a lot on the edge. Now again, in original common barn fashion, this is what happened and why I ended up putting the extension plank on. So not to worry, I've already got a plan. Now I'm not going to put an extension plank fully on here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create something with a bit more angle, something a bit more unique looking. So the edge of the board comes up to here, and then around about here I'm going to angle a piece upwards and then go along, and then when we get to the end, angle it back in. So I'm going to go for, you know, something a bit fancier, a nice angled extension on the front, and then I've already had in my head for a long time that this one's going to have a nice kind of beading, a nice trim, varnish trim around the edge of it, which I think will look quite nice with all the overgrowth hanging over it. So that's the basic track plan. Now the next piece of track is big central yard. Now this was the main reason why the old common barn left and why I wanted to do something new. I scratch build and I change and modify that many projects and locos that I decided that, you know, I needed a layout where I could showcase them, where I could enjoy them. So what better way than to have one big yard, you know, where I can have my things out and enjoy them. You know, they don't all have to be running, but I have a nice big area where I have a purpose to actually be able to stable and store locos. So as you can see, the yard comes in from this embankment over here. This is live up to this second point, so I can bring locos in into a siding all the way down to here and still have some, you know, just some running ability and some shunting ability. Everything from this point outwards isn't going to be live. You know, I don't run DCC. There's no way I'm planning on wiring all that up and getting it all electrified. So from there further forward, you know, I'm using old track, I'm using scruffy track, because you're not going to see any of it. None of it's going to have to work. This is just going to be a nice big yard. So plenty of straight sections. We're going to have some little sheds in here. This end where the track doesn't continue yet, I've got two pits ready to go in. So overall, if you can imagine it just coming across to the right a little bit more, it's going to give me plenty of space to hold a good selection of locos, wagons and anything else that I want to, you know, have out. Plus with a bit of running ability at the back as well. So yeah, this yard has been the main reason for the change. And then when I got to that point, I've finished the loops, I'd laid the yard, I was like, the back scene. What to do about a back scene? I didn't want to have a big chunky backboard like I did on the old layout. It's kind of a large, maybe too large of a layout to have a nice kind of curved back scene, if you like, which I quite like. I like curved back scenes that come from the sides. So I was umming and ahhing, and I'd always intended to have an embankment with a line on it. That was always my plan. And I thought the best way to do this is just to crack on and start building. So behind the hillside there is a massive, in fact you might be able to see some down here. If you look under there, those stilts, all those the stilts that go all the way along, and then there's a plywood, if you like, track bed on top. It was very quickly made. The plywood isn't probably wide enough in some points, so I've been modifying it as I go along. And this is now going to act as the back scene. So when I'm doing low level filming, you know, I want to be low level, I want to be in close, and this is going to be the back scene within reason. I am still pondering whether to have a curved back scene following the embankment, so obviously some flexible ply that I'll maybe just paint up a very light blue, but I'm still pondering with that at the minute, you know, we'll see. And that's the entirety of the track plan. So I've got a nice double loop running, we've got a half operated yard, and then we're going to have this nice embankment line as well, which hopefully I'll get on a shuttle unit. That's the long-term plan for that. And then obviously I just got cracking on. I got to a point when I was sick of constructing, and I needed to get some scenery done just to break it up a bit. So I started with the hillside. It's good old paper mache. We're rock solid now. And then as I've been going along, started laying some ground cover foliage down. So I've got my good old hanging basket liner here. Creates a brilliant embankment overgrowth. And it comes all the way around. You know, I've started around this side and then just started to bring it. Then I started ballasting as I was building the embankment itself. I thought, well, whilst I'm gluing and building, I might as well start chucking the ballast in. So the ballast has started to go in, and then I've just started to weather as well, which is only its first coat of weather and you can't really tell. So yeah, you know, I've been cracking on. I've been thoroughly enjoying it. I'm totally not only back into the swing of things. And I can't wait to just keep going. As you can probably tell, so we're going to have one small, this is going to be a heritage line on the embankment, by the way. We're going to have one small platform here and another one down at that end there, and that's just going to run just from one halt to another halt. Brake van rides, one coach services, rail buses, things like that. And like I say, if I can get that onto a shuttle unit, so it just very nicely and slowly just poodles from one end to the other whilst there's running going on down here, that'd be brilliant. The embankment isn't live as yet. We have got 3 controllers down there in the control corner, both loops in the yard. Like I said, I'm hopefully not going to need a permanent control like that for the embankment. So yeah, as you can see, it's a lot larger and very different. Oh, this little build out here that I've put on the back, signal box is going to be sat there. It's just going to be built out into its own bit of hillside. But yeah, keep you up to speed what's going on. Blimey, it's got a bit longer than I wanted it to. That's it with regards to an update. I still need to show you the other smaller layouts that I've been building. Well, I haven't been building, they've stalled actually since this new common barn started, but I will show you them. Birthday soon, there's going to be some new locals to show you, even new locals that you didn't see before common barn departed, so I expect some big loco news. And then the other thing, the Great Model Railway Challenge TV show, for those of you who know about it and have been in touch, thank you to everyone who showed an interest in joining my team. I can very gladly tell you all that I managed to finalise a team. I've got a team sorted out. It's an absolutely brilliant team. We sent off casting tapes, they absolutely loved us, and we were definite to be featuring on the show. So that's it's been very exciting. It's kept us all busy, put it that way. But yeah, for those who've been asking, that's where we are with that. It's all going ahead, and we're going to become big TV stars. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now because it's too long. So yeah, that's where the layout is. Obviously let me know as usual, and I will see you all in the next video. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.